Yes.
We'll stay on.
Perfect. Nice. Dan, which team do you support in the Prem?
I actually don't even support football. If it's going to want to be Manchester, I'm pretty much an anomaly.
Do you watch the rugby?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. Are we on? We might be on.
I think we are.
See a couple of viewers coming in. Give it a couple of seconds.
Maybe you can play a song on the piano in the meantime. I see one in the background.
This one?
Yeah.
My Steinway, yeah. Right.
Do you know how to play the piano?
No, I don't. I want to. Okay. Do you?
I know. I wish.
Yeah, I have it in the house, just looking around. Munya, in the background, can we get going? They're going to speak to me or not?
That's a yes.
Munya, is that a thumbs up?
Yeah, he wrote in the chat.
Okay. Well then, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another virtual event with Calyptus. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you don't know who Calyptus is, we are Web3's first and only talent terminal. Our mission is to help Web3 employers build the ultimate team 4 times faster and to make happier careers happen. Now, I've been very, very, very excited about this talk. Deel.com is kind of one of those companies that quite literally just came out of nowhere, like 1 in a million kind of company. You might remember exploding onto the scene during COVID with a solution that everyone could get on board with, help you hire and pay your remote teams around the world. Now, even more exciting is that we get to speak with Karim Oumran, who is the GTM lead at Deel and a bit of a Web3 specialist in-house at Deel, having spent a bit of time working at Saxon for about 3.5 years. Karim, super excited to have you on the show.
Super happy to be here. Thank you very much, Dan.
For the builders and the founders, this call is your chance to hear about a market-leading solution and how to build one. And for anyone hiring at the moment, HR, talent, again, founders, we'll be digging into how far HR tech has come and Deel's tiny part to play in helping distributed teams scale. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll get to them. All right. On with the show. Karim, how are you doing?
I'm good. Very happy to be here. Very happy to meet you guys and your team. You guys seem very, very hungry and interested and happy to get this started. You let me know when you want to get started and you shoot with the questions, Dan.
Yes, well, how we always start these calls is to understand your story. That's always the funnest part. We've had stories where people have been surgeons and got into Web3, had people who have been quite literally ship captains. You don't have to be as crazy as that. But what is your story? How did you get into Web3 in the first place? And then how did you get into HR tech and Deel?
Cool. It's actually a very, very funny story. How did I get into crypto? So I met my boss at my last company in crypto in Barcelona in a park playing beer pong. I wasn't really sober at the time. We had an amazing time. Funny enough, we met later that evening on the same house party. We started talking. At the time, I was still working in software sales, so that was before Saxon. And I got to know him better and better and better over time. And then I joined a crypto VC. We invested in DeFi and infrastructure, sometimes Series A, but mostly seed, pre-seeds. Did that for about nearly 4 years. And then if you've been in crypto, especially in the last few weeks, it goes up and down. And if you do this for years, I think after some time, you want some stability. I've enjoyed the time in being remote a lot at the time where I was working for Saxon, and I realized I want to remain being remote, especially when COVID hit. You realized that was more and more of an option. And that's why I decided to look for companies that offer remote positions. And not only does Deel do that, Deel is trailblazing and showing others not only how they're hiring their staff remote, but helping clients to hire the best and the smartest in class remote. So yeah, that's in a nutshell, a little bit more about myself.
Awesome. I can agree. We have hired some of our best and smartest people through Deel. I suppose what will be great for everyone in the audience is, quite simply, what is Deel? What do you guys do?
Cool. So think about this, Dan. Your company is headquartered in the UK, okay? And you're trying to expand to a different market, whether that's in the US, India, South Africa, and you want to hire your staff, but you don't have an entity there. You don't know if you should hire them as a full-time employee, if you should hire them as a contractor. Maybe you should start an entity when you've hit a certain mass of employees in that specific country. You don't have a payment provider. You don't know how to provide them maybe with laptops or different hardware, how you can track their timing. When all these questions pop into your minds, that's when Deel comes into play, because we are your forever people platform. We are your one-stop solution for all these needs. You can hire people as full-time employees, as contractors, anywhere in the world, within minutes or days, and in a very compliant and easy way.
Well summarized. I also would love to kind of understand, and maybe this is completely an obvious question, what was it about Deel that excited you? Was it the mission, the story? Like, what were you in?
That's a very good question. So this is what I learned in my last job. In my last job, I really was scouring news, and you always stay up to date with the companies that are growing really fast. What I like to do when I'm in any city and I'm walking on the streets, I like to look at all the company logos, and sometimes I research these companies. And the same when I go through news online and I research companies that I hear articles or read articles about. And I have my swings where I'm running, where I'm doing more jogging in the morning, and other times where I'm doing a little bit less. And one time when I went running in the morning, I heard a podcast about Alex Boaziz, who's the CEO about Deel. And essentially, within 3 years, they built a $5.5 billion company, him and his co-founder, Shuo. And that's when they popped on my radar. And I started digging and reading more and more. And they came on my radar, and I was like, at the time I couldn't even imagine working for such a fast growing company. Today I'm really happy to be here, and to tell you guys more about Deel and how we can potentially help you to grow in different markets.
Obviously, with your experience in Web3, when they hired you, were they going, we need to hire this guy, he's been in Web3 and this is our a new vertical, or not too new, because I know you've been in the space for a little bit, but or was it something else? Was it that they were just really focused on Web3 and you had a perfect balance between kind of sales and Web3, or did you just have that passion beforehand and just they wanted to hire you to help run sales?
Yeah, so before I was working Web3, I was working for Oracle for a couple of years. I think that's where I learned a lot about software sales. That's also where I did a lot of mistakes, but everyone who used to work for Oracle knows that Oracle is a great school to learn sales. Stayed there for about 4 years before I did my leap into crypto. And I think that was the main reason why I did that. But also, it's not only the company that you worked for before, but it's also the fire that they see in the interview process. And it's a really hard interview process. Just maybe to put this in retrospective, if you go on LinkedIn and you look at any job, you'll see over hundreds of people applying for each of the roles. So it's a very competitive market, and they only hire A-class players. So if you are actually an A-class player and you find a role that is interesting, feel free to reach out and apply for it, because we're looking for the best and the best.
Appreciate that. And you can say I'm your referral as well. Do you do referral fees?
We do referral fees, yeah. To be fair, I only referred one person so far. So I like to play paddle, and I have my paddle group, and there's a girl that is okay at paddle, and but she's so smart. And every time after paddle, I would just hang around and having a coffee with her and a couple of other people, And she seemed very, very hungry and interested. And then one day she told me, "Hey, can you refer me to Deel?" I don't know her very well. I didn't know her professionalism, but I saw her hunger. So I referred her, and she started earlier this year. So I'm really happy. Referred one person, and she got accepted because they saw the talent in her. Yeah.
That's brilliant. I mean, referrals are like the number one way in which people get hired. Like, you cannot beat a referral. Even our platform, Calyptus, cannot beat a referral. It's like one of those things, and it's like the serendipity, and also just the network of getting yourself into those situations where you can be brought into a company. That's great. Oh, brilliant! You found another A-class player. Being from Web3. You kind of, I suppose, and also this being in the VC space where you're seeing startups failing, succeeding, going through the ringer. Like, I suppose, what are the challenges, have you seen Web3 companies facing when it comes to global hiring?
Very, very good question. So I think a company makes it or breaks it with the right people, with the right mindset, with the right culture. And to be very honest, I think for a small company, it's really hard to master it all. But one thing that you can master is looking for the right talent. So you have so many different softwares where you can find the talent. Truth be told, most of the Web3 companies are not really going to advertise on LinkedIn. They'll advertise more on Twitter, Telegram, maybe some Discord groups, or work with a great company like you guys. And I think the biggest challenges were for senior people working in these companies understanding that the greatest talent isn't necessarily in their age class, but it's maybe more the Zoomers, because the Zoomers tend to maybe not have university degrees, but are very, very hungry. They're scouring Twitter. They are really good with AI. They know how to use it to their advantage. They still need to prove themselves. And most of the time, these Zoomers, they don't live in the same country. So they would live in different countries. So instead of setting up entities and looking for free contracts that you can use on the internet and then paying them on their wallet and misclassifying them and opening themselves up for maybe legal reviews down the road, I think it's the best to find a great partner who can just outsource everything from finding the staff, but also hiring them compliantly, so they can focus on more important things in life and actually product market fit and growth.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I suppose those are kind of the features that you're building into it are just around making it more seamless. It's making it safer, just a better legal kind of hurdle to cross through using Deel.
Exactly.
And what are kind of like the key features that you provide to Web3 companies and to contractors or employees around the world in Web3? A lot of people like to be paid in different cryptos. What do you guys offer here?
Great question. Obviously, you always want to spearhead innovation, and as I mentioned earlier, the founders build this company up from 0 to 5.5 billion in 3 years. So with Deel, every 3 months is maybe with another company like a year or two. So every few months we either acquire a new company, we release a new product, we grow massively. So keep checking in with us to understand what the latest of our product is. But the beauty about working with Deel and hiring Web3 companies is contractors can get paid into their Coinbase account or into any wallet of their choosing and stablecoin. So we work with USDT, USDC. That's how you can get paid. You can also split your payments into, for example, your Revolut account, your bank account, stable account, and so on and so forth. So it gives you the flexibility of doing a split payment across multiple wallets that you might have.
That's really cool. Well, so if you wanted some in Solana, you wanted some in your ETH wallet, you can flip them across those different chains? Or Solana featured?
Yeah, so the chain right now, so you can, it depends which wallet provider you have. So we offer 2 different versions. You can get it in your Coinbase account. So you can get stablecoin in your Coinbase account. Or for example, I use Phantom. So obviously I get my money not on my Coinbase account. I get it wired to an address, and then it is in stablecoin. Now, if that's on the base chain, if it's on the Solana chain, it doesn't really matter because all these chains carry stablecoin.
Got it. Cool. And so you guys mainly in stable coins, and you said USDC, USDT.
But more to come soon. So again, as I mentioned, every few months is like years with another company. So stay tuned when it comes to Web3 partnerships. We'll release some new features very soon.
Okay, I want to be paid in Dogecoin within the next, 6 months.
Smart.
Maybe this is a good segue. How you guys stay compliant, in this industry? There are obviously a few regulations, and I help companies and employees with this.
That's a very good question. So we operate in over 150 countries around the world. Now, in all of these countries, we have an entity. And for each entity, we have an in-house team for lawyers, for compliance teams, for regulators, for tax accountants. And so we proactively scour the internet for you. So if you have employees in that specific country, we would proactively reach out to you and let you know of any changes of compliance or regulations in that specific country. So you don't actually need to do anything. You just focus on your business, and we reach out to you and let you know whatever change in that country, if this affects you.
That's very, very helpful, especially in Web3 when, I think we have our team, it's a team of 20, and we're split across 5, maybe 6 different countries, and you can't keep up to date. And it's actually just helpful for the employees to know how to deal with their own taxes and benefits, and of us to just kind of supervise it. I think the case with why, at least in my opinion, why Deel kind of just killed it. One was timing. During COVID, it was perfect. And then the other was just kind of its way of creating this kind of seamless onboarding. Have you guys, can you walk us through kind of how you guys have made this process gone from what used to be something very clunky to something super, I suppose, next generation?
Very good question. So Alex, the founder, is a product guy, and I think the product speaks for itself. So today you can go on Deel.com and you can find out everything. You can sign up for free. We offer, by the way, a lot of free tools for HRIS, such as onboarding, offboarding, e-signatures, expense management. You can put your time in that you worked. You can request vacation and so much more. And this will remain free for your company, for all of your employees, regardless how many you have and where they're located. And already by stepping into this, you realize how easy it is to use Deel. Now, if you want to add other features, paid features in the future, you can do that, but that's optional. And that's not necessarily to do that to use our free features. Again, to answer your question, the reason why it is so seamless to use Deel, it is Alex is a product guy, and he really makes sure that anyone who has no idea about HR or finance can easily hire or pay their staff, because it's very self-explanatory from the first moment.
Incredible. Well, I have a final question, and anyone, if you have any questions at all for Karim, now is your chance to chuck them in the chat and we can cover them off. But what do you see as the vision now for Deel, the next 5-10 years? Where do you see this company being in the kind of whole infrastructure, Web3, Web2? What's the long-term vision that you see Deel becoming?
To be honest, I think that's the best question so far. 5 years ago, I don't think anyone, I couldn't have imagined where Deel is today. Maybe the founders would have imagined where Deel is today. So I don't even know where Deel will be in 5 years. What I can tell you is Deel will be probably public. So maybe it will be smart to buy some shares of Deel. If you look to their past, it's one of the fastest growing companies ever in history. So where they will be in 5 years, I think I'm the wrong person to ask, but I would love to know that myself. And if I find out, I'll let you know, Dan.
Well, you'll be the person who's pushing it forward with the go-to-market strategies and sales. So Karim, thank you so much for coming on. It's been really interesting. One, working with you guys at Deel with our staff, getting to know you and the team, and also just relaying this to all our founders, HR members, talent teams in our network. Guys, if you're interested in Deel, speaking to Karim, and to be honest, giving a big thank you to him, we're going to put the details in the chat right now for you to give him a ping and say thank you or whatever it is. Karim, thank you so much for coming on. What does the rest of the day behold for you?
Meetings. So only actually, this is my last meeting for today. I'll just prepare for tomorrow. We are at the end of the month, so we're trying to make sure as in the sales org to make as much money as we can, but also create as much value as we can for our customers. So yeah, that's it. Also, thank you very, very much, Dan, for giving us this platform, and we look forward to working more with you in the future.
All the best, Karim. Everyone, give Karim a ping at icecream_Kiko on Telegram. Share some love, and yeah, we'll catch you all soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.